In this video, we will be talking about the importance of budgeting for millennials like you and I, and the one budget method I used to get rid of debt a few years ago, but has now gotten me thinking, hold on a minute, I was spending how much on eating out again? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Shuril with Modest Millennial, and if you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel and gently tapping the like button if you want to learn how to save, invest, and grow your money. Budgeting your money on a monthly basis is the core of properly managing your finances to either pay off existing debt and bring your finances on track, or to plan for down payment for a home, or even to start saving for retirement one day. But millennials like you and I have it hard as the increasing college tuitions have far surpassed the pace of wage growth over the past 20 years, and a lot of us find ourselves stuck with paying down student loans for several years after graduating, with only so much money coming into our bank accounts each month. But time is money, friends. So the sooner in our careers we start saving and investing for the future, and the faster we pay off our debt, the better our money will grow in the long run, owing to the concept of compound interest, and will outpace inflation year over year. Listen to me, guys, you gotta beat inflation, otherwise, it will eat your money up. Anyway, so let's first talk about this budgeting rule that I found out about the first time back in 2017 or early 2018 that helped me budget my money better and fast track debt payoff for all the stupid things I had spent money on. In the world of finance, it's commonly known as the 50-30-20 budget method. Basically, the numbers 50, 30, and 20 represent percentage allocations to three major categories that all of us likely spend our money on. These include necessities, bills, eating out, entertainment, investing, saving, and so on. So let's break this down a little bit further. The number 50 in the 50-30-20 budget method represents the maximum amount of money out of your income per month that you should spend on necessities or your needs per month. These are the things you absolutely have to pay for each month, no matter how much money you're earning in that particular month. Things such as rent or mortgage, utilities, transportation, insurance, basic food expenses, and at least the minimum payments on your debt obligations are your needs, and you absolutely have to pay for them each month in order to survive. Say, for example, you have $5,000 in net income hitting your bank account each month. 50% of the $5,000, meaning $2,500, can be spent on things we just discussed in order to move your life forward. Now, when you are living on a tight budget each month and can't seem to be able to save money, or can't have enough money coming in each month to pay for what you consider as your needs, it becomes really important to evaluate what falls under the category of needs that you think you need to be paying for each month. It is extremely easy to confuse some wants as needs and to think you don't have enough money coming in to allocate 50% towards what you absolutely need each month. Some people consider their gym membership or even their Netflix subscription as things that they absolutely need to pay for each month. And don't get me wrong here, if you have enough money coming in each month to sustain these expenses, by all means, go and pay for these. But when you absolutely need to stick to a tighter budget, say you have a major debt to pay off and every dollar paid towards the debt matters, expenses that can be thought of as needs but actually are wants can be taken out of your monthly cycle to save some extra money. Next, the number 30 in the 50-30-20 budget method represents the maximum amount of money out of all the income hitting your bank account each month that you may spend on your wants. Wants can be defined as the things you choose to spend your money on each month, but don't necessarily have to live your life. Things that we discussed earlier, such as gym memberships, various subscriptions, eating out, vacations, shopping, all of these things can be considered as wants. Some of these wants can be easily confused as needs, and a simple rule of thumb to decide if an expense is a want or a need is to ask yourself if you can live without spending money on that certain thing you were choosing to spend money on. If the answer is yes, then it is a want. If no, then it is something you need to spend money on. For example, you can live without buying a new pair of jeans for a couple of months, but you cannot live without electricity for even a couple days. So choose wisely, guys. Out of the $5,000 hitting your bank account from earlier, the 30% funds that you may choose to allocate to wants each month comes out to $1,500. And finally, the number 20 in the 50-30-20 budget method represents the maximum amount of money out of all the income hitting your bank account each month that you may decide to save, invest, or even use to pay off your debt. So out of the $5,000 hitting your bank account each month from before, the 20% comes out to $1,000 that you may choose to save, invest, or even pay off debt each month. This can be a great resource to help build up your savings for emergency expenses or even your savings for down payment for a home. If you choose to use this money to pay off debt, Of course, there can be debt that is considered good and other that can be considered bad. For example, credit card debt that racks up massive amounts of interest payments per month is bad debt and should be prioritized paying off each month. But other debts, such as mortgages that help you build equity and ask for a minimum amount of interest rates each month, can be paid off over the longer term to save more money in the short term instead. So there you have it. If you are just starting to take control of your financial health, the 50-30-20 method can be an extremely helpful resource and should not be ignored. But I have a couple issues with this method. The first issue I have is with the income range that this method applies to. If you are someone who makes anywhere from a few $100s to a few $1,000s a month, then this method is well suited for managing your finances. But if you are one of the well-established YouTubers that makes anywhere between $10,000 to even $50,000 a month, this method can be very challenging and demanding. Just imagine paying 50% of the $50,000 a month you make on living expenses or just your needs. That's a lot of money to spend on just one category, guys. And the second problem I have with this method relates to the income range that most people, including myself, fall under, which is the couple $100 to a few $1,000s a month range. I feel that for my paycheck each month, 50% of it is too much to pay for my needs and 30% is outrageous to spend on things I want each month. So if you are targeting financial freedom and faster growth for your money, it is extremely important to save and invest as much money as you can early on in your life and not stick to the 20% rule recommended by this method. For me, I try to live on an extremely tight budget each month and avoid any wants that spring in my head like the plague to invest as much money as possible every waking month. I have no life. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And as always, please don't forget to like this video below and hit the subscribe button to get more content on personal finance delivered to you each week. Also, if you are tired of just watching me in this small frame, please follow me on Instagram where I share spicy insights of my personal life and how I save money pretty much on a daily basis. Alright everyone, see you again soon. Thanks so much for tuning into my channel.